This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and get the latest from Alpena Community College with Don McMaster. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first guest today is Jessica Luther from Alpena County Library. Hi, Jessica.
Good morning, Nancy.
Well, I know you had a busy summer. August was absolutely crazy. And listening to your list today, September isn't any different. So why don't you get us started in September?
It most certainly is not. And it's a month of community collaboration, that is for sure.
Yay!
First off, we are doing a genealogical seminar with the Northeast Michigan Genealogical Society. We've been working closely with Rosemary Guthrie and Camila Mazurik, and we have what is 21st Century Tools for Genealogists. And that is going to be September 17th at the library.
Fastest growing hobby in the world.
Yes. It's so what they're going to be doing is presenting two speakers, and Catherine Wilson, who is a well-known genealogist from Ann Arbor, is coming, and she's doing a session on using Facebook and doing genealogical research through that, and also Google tips that people may not even think of when they're using the internet to search for their ancestors. And Camila will be presenting in the afternoon, and hers is a little more scientific. It's about using DNA in research, and it's called It's All About Spit. So that's a little cheeky, so to speak. But the cost for the all-day seminar is $20, and it does include a box lunch. Registration information can be found on Facebook by searching 21st Century Tools for Genealogists, or you can call the library or the Genealogical Society for more information.
Okay, that sounds wonderful.
Yes, we're very excited about that.
Oh, you should be, because to get those speakers and get those tools in our community is pretty wonderful.
Oh, yes.
All right.
So then also another all-day big community collaboration is the Alpena Book Festival. So this is the second year for the festival, and the library is working with Blue Phoenix Books, Olivet, and Bob's Bullpen to make sure that we have a good group of Michigan authors and illustrators coming to spend the day with us on September 24th. So far we have over 25 authors coming. We also are doing 17 plus panel discussions and author meet and greets. We're very excited. Registration for that can be done online through the library's Facebook page. Olivet has registration forms, Blue Phoenix does. It is free to come to the festival itself. However, if people would like to purchase a tote bag, there are two options. We have a tote bag for $10, which comes with advanced readers' copies of books that we've gotten generously donated by area publishers. And then we have another tote bag, which is $25, which comes with the copies plus a t-shirt and a lovely Moleskine notebook. And all proceeds for the festival do support the Read Adult Literacy program at the library. And it's important to use the festival also to promote the contributions of Michigan authors to the nation's literary heritage. And we are extremely excited because the Michigan Center for the Book, which is a subsidiary of the Library of Michigan, has recognized how important this is, and they are providing major support for the festival this year, and are hoping that each year we can grow it to be bigger and bigger and eventually be a destination festival for the rest of the state.
Well, and you had it before, and you didn't know what to expect, and it was crazy, and it sounds like it's going to be even crazier this year. Amazing to get that many authors who are willing to come.
We're very excited, and we're looking at really streamlining the process. You know, the registration will be at the library the day of, and there'll be people all over the town directing people where they need to be. We'll make sure no one gets lost.
Perfect.
Then I'm sure everyone knows we've been doing Alpena Reads, our community read, and that is The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind, the story of William Kamkwamba, a Malawi teenager who used his library to learn how to make a windmill during the famine of 2000. William is coming to Alpena High School the 29th of September, and tickets for that are $10 and available at the library. But leading up to that, we're going to be having some events. We have a documentary screening on, of course, I lost it. Documentary screening on Sunday the 18th, and that's at 2 p.m. And that is Deep Roots of Malawi, and that is about the musical tradition and indigenous cultures in Malawi. Another documentary we'll be showing is William and the Windmill, which traces William's journey from developing the windmill and then all of a sudden becoming an international sensation, and the impact that that's had on his life and in the village that he's from.
Yes.
And that's really interesting. That'll be on the 25th of September, which is a Sunday, also at 2 o'clock. And also Reverend Dr. Bob Case will be giving a talk on indigenous religions on Tuesday, the 20th of September at 7 o'clock, also at the library. And we'll be having crafts the day of the book festival, and the Knit and Listen continues each Thursday evening from 6 until 9, or I'm sorry, 6 until 8 p.m.
Boy, people better not say there's nothing to do in Alpena. I mean, holy, and I mean the caliber and the quality of the events that come to our community because of the collaborations that you spoke of earlier. You know, what a blessing for our community.
Yes, it's been very exciting. We're really excited to bring Mr. Kumkwamba to Alpena,
Yes.
especially given the interest in STEM-related activities. These are truly all ages events, and the book comes for young readers, young adult readers, and then there's an adult version of the book, and they are available to check out at the library, and Blue Phoenix also has them in stock.
Okay, wonderful.
And then finally, just a heads up for everyone, October we are partnering with CMU Public Broadcasting to do an advanced screening of the documentary Hamilton's America about the
Amazing.
musical Hamilton. And in addition, they'll be presenting a sneak peek of the PBS Arts Festival.
Okay.
And that will be airing every Friday on Great Performances. So we're very excited about that. We're developing some programming. We're going to have a listening party of the Broadway cast album. We'll get some speakers in to talk about the impact of Alexander Hamilton on United States history. And we're just thrilled to have CMU Public Broadcasting be interested in coming to Alpena.
Another wonderful collaboration.
Yes.
And as we talked before we started taping, the buzz about Hamilton is just unbelievable, so I can't wait to see and hear all the good stuff.
I know, we're very, very excited.
And you know, you mentioned thousands of programs, but don't forget we have all the regular, we have books, we have videos, we have books on tape, the website, getting advanced copies of books. There's so many wonderful things that you can do at the library.
And our women at the circulation desk are the best reader advisory people you could ever find. You walk in and they can advise you, point you to the next great book that you'll want to read.
And just check out your website because everything we've talked about is on there.
It is, yes.
Thank you, Jessica.
Thank
Look forward
you,
to talking
Nancy.
to you next month. Please stay tuned. I'll be right back following these messages. Hi, welcome back. My last guests today are Kat Tomaszewski and Richard Kluth, both from Besser Museum. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Now, Kat, you brought Richard, who is a curator at the museum, so you tell us what he's going to talk about today.
So we are so excited for the Lake Huron Discovery Tour this fall. So we're getting ready now because October isn't that far away.
No, unfortunately not.
So the Lake Huron Discovery Tour is October 7th through October 10th, and we have so many great activities you can go to. And the theme this year is talking about the heritage of the region and how our Native American culture of this region was almost like a black hole. There were so many mysteries and so many things we didn't know. And so Richard has helped us so much with his knowledge to help answer some questions and to bring in some more research to create a series of traveling exhibits that
Wow.
are going to be all over the region. We are going to have one in Oscoda, one in Harrisville, and we're also going to have one up in Mackinac. And so, that's just the first stop, and then after that, they're going to be traveling even more. So if someone wants to have one of these traveling exhibits, they can always contact us. And so all of these dates and the information and the great activities we're going to have going on during the Discovery Tour are on our website, always at bessermuseum.org. It'll be right on our homepage. You can click on it, and it'll take you to all of our events.
Okay. Richard, I know you're known for picking up big projects and running with them. What made you decide to do this?
It seems as though it's been what I've been doing for,
Your
do I
life?
dare say, a half a century. It's a remarkable opportunity because it affords me the opportunity to participate with the Native population across the state. We have a lot of increasing interaction and activities shared with the Zibowing Center at Mount Pleasant,
Okay.
at the Saginaw Valley Band of Michigan Chippewas, and archaeologically, this is something that I began picking up on in the 1970s when I arrived in the community. after Gerald Haltiner's many years of collecting. And of course the Haltiner collection, which is one of the centerpieces of the Besser Museum's collections, was acquired by the museum as one of the initial collections in the 1960s when the museum first opened. We've been adding to that now each summer with archaeological excavations in the area. I was amused a couple of years ago to have a board of trustees member ask me if there are any archaeology sites in Alpena County.
Oh my goodness.
And I said, yeah, we're about 85 or 90 at this number. And I said, I have a former student who was passionate and got out every weekend, a young man from Rogers City who went on to do a PhD in anthropology and archaeology. I think he's documented about 120 sites in Presque Isle County. So there's a great deal here. And there really wasn't much in the literature until recently, and we are now beginning to get more into the literature, so we're less of a black hole in Michigan.
So what kind of things are we going to see on the traveling exhibits?
The hard artifacts, the preserved artifacts, of course, from prehistory. Of course, the stone, the lithic artifacts, the points and scrapers and knives. I think we have some ceramics.
You do, and some baskets as well.
And some baskets, which were more contemporary, more historic, which were very important in the 19th century to the native population, and which carry on today with a remarkable tradition of basket makers, both native and European heritage people who, mostly women it seems for some interesting reason, but they continue to make baskets and they're beautiful. And the museum, we have one of the premier collections of historic period baskets. We have the collections of two collectors from early part of the century.
Wow.
Several hundred baskets from the 1880s, 90s, and the turn of the century, the turn of the 20th century.
Wow.
These rather large collections, and they're marvelous. We bring them out occasionally for different purposes, but we do have a marvelous study collection of Upper Great Lakes basketry.
So how long did it take you to put this together to be able to get them to be traveling?
We have really worked around the clock.
I can't imagine.
And nonstop for the past 2 months. Richard has helped us a lot. He's been doing a lot of work on it. We also had two great interns, Jonathan Bluck and Stuart Richardson, came in this summer.
Okay.
And they helped us do a lot of research. And with that, we were able to take it and put it into our design and to keep going through the process of working with the library. And they're going to help us print them, which is fantastic.
Yay.
And so it's been 2 months of just a lot of hard work and a lot of community support.
Well, I'm really excited because when everyone talks about our heritage and the history of Alpena, I always hear logging, 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 logging. So I'm so excited that this very important component is going to be out there for everyone to be able to see.
Well, on that note, I'd like to say that we're going to try to influence that logging, logging, logging emphasis by saying fishing, 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 which is increasingly a part of the development of our exhibiting and schedule at the museum. As you might know, the Chinook was recently acquired by the museum,
yes.
And we've had now for quite some time the Catherine V, which is in the process of being conserved. We are going to make it the centerpiece of the story of the Great Lakes fishing families, not only the European settlers from the 1800s, but prehistoric as well.
I remember you being on the show when you first were acquiring the Catherine V. How many years ago would that have been?
Oh, let's not talk about that.
Yeah, it's been a long time. So, I mean, that's coming to fruition too. And you know, those important things take time. You can't just...
It's a museum.
Yes, it is, exactly right. All right, we're out of time, unfortunately. So how can people find out more? Should they go to the website again?
Go to our website,
Okay.
bessermuseum.org, and remember our traveling exhibits are going out the first week of October, so
Okay.
start looking for them around October 7th.
Okay. And Richard, thank you so much for being back again. It's good to see you, and thanks for spending countless, endless hours on making sure that this stuff is all available for our community and other communities to be able to see and share the history.
It is my pleasure, our pleasure. We're happy to be here.
Thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Please stay tuned for Dr. Don McMaster following these messages.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Dr. Don McMaster. I'm president of Alpena Community College, and I'm pleased to have as our guest this morning Deb Hawtaw, biology instructor at ACC. Welcome, Deb.
Thank you.
Pleased to have you with us. This summer, you had a very interesting expedition to Costa Rica with some ACC students. So why don't you tell the viewers a little bit about it?
The course was field biology, and it's an entry-level course that basically introduces students to techniques that are used when surveying different organisms, plants and animals in the field. And it was a two-part class. We did most of the lecture portions here before we left home, learned about Costa Rica, learned about the different biomes, and of course the techniques of being a field biologist. And then the field portion was actually in Costa Rica, exploring the different habitats there and the diversity of life.
And that's plentiful, I understand. Costa Rica's a heavenly place.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah. How many students did you have?
This time I had 8, and they ranged from a dual enroll all the way up to one of the faculty people from the college, actually.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
whole age range made it interesting.
Cool. And how long were you there?
Just over 2 weeks.
And you landed in the capital city? And
Yep,
then,
San Jose.
Okay.
And when we're there, we stay at field research stations, so the students get to see researchers hands-on in actual field settings. And we visited 4 basic biomes. We started off by going to Monteverde, which is a cloud forest. It's at a high elevation and the nicest area, basically. And from there, we went to Las Cruces, which is considered a mid-montane, and also very nice. It was actually at a botanical garden, which is nice for the students because everything's labeled,
Yes, yeah,
for the
sure.
plants and everything. And from there, we then went to La Selva, which is a hot tropical forest, and it's very hot and very humid, and a lot for northerners to adapt to.
Sure.
But that was, as close as you get to jungle,
Yeah.
and then we ended up in Palo Verde, which is a dry tropical forest, and lots of places in between.
Sure. So you saw kind of 4 different ecosystems.
Yeah.
And this is a very open-ended question, so forgive me, but what were some of the highlights of the trip for you as a participant or as an instructor?
Well, it's always nice, to see special kinds of animals and things. And for example, when we were in Monteverde, the big organism to see there, the animal, is a bird. It's called the resplendent quetzal. It's their national bird, and they're very rare. And some of the students actually saw it as it flew by. There was a mating pair, a male and a female. Others heard it. If anything, they all know how to identify the call. We saw its nest.
Oh, neat.
And so that was kind of like a big species to see. And then we did a couple different field trips, and for example, we did 2 river cruises. And so during one of the river cruises, we literally saw a flock of about maybe 15 scarlet macaws.
Wow.
Which, they're pretty big and bright red and very noisy.
Really?
Yeah, and in many areas they're pretty rare too. And that was the first time I'd ever seen them there. This is my, I think, 5th or 6th time going there. Never seen them before, and here's this whole big flock. So that was kind of special.
That's really neat. Well, I have to tell you that I had the good fortune of encountering one of your students at a restaurant recently, and she was telling me what a wonderful trip it had been, and kind of life-changing in a way.
It is. It is a third world country. It's a very nice third world country. And, we're always perfectly safe and everything, but it's a completely different culture where they can really learn to appreciate their own country. But it also, you learn about biodiversity. It's very different actually experiencing biodiversity and just the plethora of organisms that can actually be in one little spot. So it's makes a big impact on beginning biology students, I guess.
Yeah, I understand. And I'm curious, I guess, just you've done this, you've been at the college a number of years, you've taught biology and distinguished biology instructor. and you've taken groups to Costa Rica. As an instructor, you know, what motivates you to continue to do that? Because you could easily take the summer off and sit out on the beach.
Well, I enjoy being in the field myself. You know, it kind of keeps me involved with it. I always like learning and seeing new things, and I enjoy spreading that enthusiasm to new generations.
Yeah.
So it's very rewarding.
Yeah, good stuff. And we have about a minute left. You had described a field botany class that you also teach. It's not in Costa Rica, but in an interesting setting.
Yeah, I was approached to basically do a botanical survey at the Mystery Valley sinkholes, which is in the local area, Posen area. And what they have to do is, in order to renew their conservancy application with the government, they have to have a survey of every single plant that is on the whole property. And so I said, well, since I have to do this anyways, I might as well have some students benefit from it. So I had just 3 students, because it's a very intense kind of thing, but they learned field botany hands-on, actually doing field botany.
Did they rappel into the sinkholes? Do that?
No. It's mainly the surface areas. The sinkholes are protected.
Okay.
So, and actually that particular sinkhole is underwater.
Oh, okay.
So it's a lake right now. So I suppose you could scuba dive it, but that's okay.
That sounds interesting. So there's a variety of things that go on. I guess maybe this would be a little opportunity to tell potential students, you know, the sort of things they might get if they enroll.
Yep, the field botany continues next summer too. So that's a 2-year opportunity actually.
Very good. So. Well, Deb, thank you for coming on the show. I appreciate it, and thanks for all you do for ACC. It's a wonderful experience for students to be able to go to Costa Rica, to get out of our region and see that the world is broad and wide, but there are similarities too.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you, and thank you for watching Talk of the Town. We'll see you again next week.
This has been Talk of the Town with your hosts, Nancy Smitham and Don McMaster. For a list of events taking place in Northeast Michigan, please visit our website at wbkb11.com and click on the community link. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.
The Talk of the Town furniture and set design are provided by Young Appliance Art Van Furniture on US 23 South in Alpena.